This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
What's going on, guys? Good morning. Welcome to a spooky edition of NXT. This is my review / reaction to Halloween Havoc 2024 from Sunday, October 27th, 2024, from the Giant Center in Hershey, PA, the sweetest, apparently the sweetest town in all of America. We got 5 matches on the docket tonight. 3 title matches, both North American titles, women's and men's, and the NXT Championship in the main event in the Devil's Playground. Important note, in the pre-show, we had our friend of the show, Dave LaGreca, shout out to Dave LaGreca, and Bubba Ray Dudley, Hall of Famer. They were doing the pre-show, and Ridge Holland interrupted them, so could be a prelude to a certain arena that they've been talking about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. November 6th is the NXT show from the 2300 Arena, better known as the ECW Arena, which I had the pleasure of finally going to, a bucket list goal that I didn't think I would ever do. I went to a TNA event with some of the boys a few months ago, and it was amazing. It was so cool to be there, a lot of history. So we open up the show with the North American title, Tony D'Angelo defending against the Ruler. So Obafemi, the Don versus the Ruler. Hard-fought match. It was a table, ladders, and scares, but the only way to win is by pinfall or submission. I thought it was going to be a ladder match type situation. Hard-fought. The family comes out to help Tony D'Angelo one by one. At one point, Rizzo has a crowbar and takes it. Obafemi takes it from her, but it ends up costing him. And like I said, the family helps Tony D'Angelo win the match. So Tony D'Angelo is still the NXT North American champion. I thought maybe Obafemi would get it back, but this opens him up to possibly go for the NXT championship. We get a backstage segment with Ava, with Alexis King, who's still looking for a corner man for this coming Tuesday, and for his Heritage Cup Championship match against Charlie Dempsey, and Lord William Regal, who is Charlie Dempsey's father, if none of you guys know that, will be in Lexis King's corner, so that should be very interesting. Next up, we have the tag team match between the star-studded women's tag team match of international flavor. We got Stephanie McCool and Giulia against Cora Jade, the NXT Women's Champion. Cora Jade in her first match back after her knee injury, so almost a year, I think around a year or so, and the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez. They are dressed up like the twins from The Shining, which I thought was a cool costume. Again, this was an amazing match. The crowd was really hot for it. In the end, two big things to come out of this. Stephanie McCool pins the NXT Women's Champion, and at the end of the match, Zarya makes her presence known. As she's shown in the stands, letting everybody know and putting everybody on notice that she is here. Next, we have Ridge Holland in a grudge match with Chase U's dean, I guess, would you call him the dean of the university, I guess? Andre Chase, in his best Freddy Krueger Chase U sweater, which I need to get if that is on sale at the shop. It is in an ambulance match, and as Vic pointed out on commentary, this is only the 8th or 9th ambulance match in WWE history, so that's pretty cool. Andre Chase gives a great fight, but in the end, Ridge Holland ends up winning. The next match is, so we get a later on, like beforehand, Fatal Attraction states what the match stipulation is, and it is a gauntlet match. So Kalani Jordan has to beat all three Fatal Attraction members in a row. So we got Jasmine Ninks first, then JC Jane, and then Fallon Henley. Kalani Jordan was able to get through Jasmine Ninks and JC Jane, but at the end of the match with JC Jane, JC attacks her, and Fallon Henley tries to take advantage, but Kalani, resilient. This was a very, very good showing out of Kalani Jordan. I really thought she was going to retain, but in the end, Fatal Attraction is too much, and I'm sorry, Fatal Influence. I keep saying that. I keep mixing up the names. Sorry. In the end, Fatal Influence is too much, and we have a new NXT Women's North American Champion in Fallon Henley. So I saw it on Instagram. She's very emotional after the match. Great for Fallon Henley. She's come a long way. And we'll see where we go from here. I'm not sure what goes with Kalani Jordan. Maybe she goes to challenge the Women's Championship. I mean, it is stacked right now. So we get a segment with Vic and Booker T talking about the Devil's Playground. And we get Tatum Paxley in a box. She pops out and scares Booker. He says, "Oh, hell no." And Ava's out there as well. And Tatum Paxley wants a match with Wendy Chu, who turned on her last week. And she spins the wheel, and it is a casket match. So we're going to get, I want to say this is the first ever women's casket match. If not, it's very few of them. So we're going to get that this coming Tuesday on NXT. And the main event is next. We got Trick Williams in his Trick Willy Wonka costume, which I thought was spectacular. Very, very good main event. At one point, I want to say a bag of screws was thrown into the ring. A stair-heavy match. At one point on the outside, Ethan Page does a Ego's Edge from the top of. He's standing on top of stairs through the announce table, but in the end, it took 2 trick shots to beat Ethan Page, and Trick Williams, who has bled for. I want to say he's bled for the first time. He's bleeding from the mouth, and I think from tasting his own blood, was able to catapult him to the win. So Trick Williams retains the NXT championship. After the match, Rich Holland shows up and attacks Trick Williams, and Rich Holland and Ethan Page attack Trick, and then Bubba Ray comes out for the save. So possibly a tag team match for the ECW arena. And earlier we got a confirmation that Lola Vice and Jada Parker are going to fight in a street fight November 6th with Dawn Marie as a special guest referee, so that should be a good one. But yeah, so and I forgot to mention, after the Women's North American title match, we got Zarya coming out and taking out Fatal Influence. So overall, an amazing pay-per-view, PLE as they call them now. A lot of fun. NXT has been on fire recently. Like I said, all 3 brands in WWE have just been really, really good. And we'll see what happens this coming Wednesday. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys later.
BCP is brought to you by our favorite store, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore, located in the Englishtown Flea Market in New Jersey from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, and online at FunkensteinWrestlingSuperstore.com. Get your favorite wrestling merch, retro video games, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, so much more. It's our favorite store. Thank you, Heather and Dan, for sponsoring the BCP. Also got to welcome back our sponsors, the No Gimmicks Podcast, the podcast that keeps it 100% real 100% of the time. Check out our guy Kelvin, only on the No Gimmicks podcast. Wrestling All Day, All Night is the best wrestling discussion group on Facebook. We provide more of a community feel here and have wrestling fans introduce other fans to something they may not have seen before, such as old school wrestling, indie wrestling, Japanese wrestling, and so much more. We also strive to be a source of information regarding upcoming wrestler meet and greets and signings. And remember, we're open 24/7, all day, all night. Be sure to follow on socials and join the group on Facebook at Wrestling All Day, All Night. Welcome back, our sponsor, Sweet Chin Musings. Sweet Chin Musings is the creation of the reigning, rarely defending, highly disputed champion of wrestling podcast, Mr. Perfect, Mike Mueller, and his tag team partner in crime, Luke Kudialis. SCM focuses on the in-ring product of WWE and AEW, no dirt sheet rumors here, as well as backstage news, predictions, and analysis of characters, storylines, and major pay-per-views. Old school fans, don't worry, we have you covered as well, with a look back on classic matches, top 10 lists, and interactive tournaments that let the fans decide who is truly the best of all time. You can find them at Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings, and check out the podcast on all major podcast platforms. Please welcome back our sponsors on the BCP Plus and the podcast, GPW Productions. GPW provides your promotion or event with top-tier video, audio production, live streaming, and more. I can personally vouch for them in saying they are hands down the best production company I've ever worked with, as they have and continue to work with the likes of AEW, GCW, StarCast, MLW, not to mention the majority of the local independent promotions here in the tri-state area. They can even help you film a vignette or promo for your persona or gimmick. And guess what? GPW doesn't just work in wrestling. No, they cover MMA, boxing, basketball, or any other sporting event as well. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Mike Sesko, Frank Leone, O'Neil Andros, and the team for giving me multiple opportunities to work with them and some of the best talent in the world. Thank you, GPW, and guys, book GPW for your promotion or event today at contact@gpwproductions.com. Please welcome back one of our favorite podcast sponsors, Key Nation, featuring our very own BCP and BCP Plus contributor, Mr. Wayne Keener. Make sure to follow Key Nation on TikTok and Instagram for great puns, memes, dad jokes, and random ridiculous content. Thank you, Wayne, for sponsoring the BCP. Don't forget to check out one of our newest sponsors here on the BCP, Chop City Wrestling. Chop City Wrestling is where our pal Ryan Steniford takes chops from wrestlers and donates $20 to Connor's Cure for every chop he takes. Follow his adventures on his YouTube channel for all those chops and some great pro wrestling content, all for a good cause. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you, Ryan, for sponsoring the BCP. Please welcome in our new podcast sponsor, From the Left Side. From the Left Side has all of your wrestling and sports news. Check out From the Left Side at facebook.com/From the Left Side with On Air E, and be sure to hit that follow button. Thank you, From the Left Side. Please welcome back one of our favorite sponsors, Mania Club. Established in 2015, Mania Club is a WWE recognized community for fans with an eclectic love for both the world of professional wrestling and raising money for Connor's Cure. During WrestleMania weekend, we host the official tailgate of WrestleMania while also celebrating the life of Conor McCallum. They are the single largest donor within the V Foundation for Connor's Cure, with over 150,000 raised. Please donate and join the Facebook group over at Mania Club on Facebook. Donate at jimmyv.org/Mania Club. Guys, please welcome in our new pod sponsor for the months of May and June, J. Adam Photography. Jay provides quality, artistic, innovative photography with a quick turnaround time. Be sure to check out his latest ISPW wrestling pics and much more stellar content. Right now, wrestlers can do a special portrait shoot with Jay in Sparta, New Jersey for just $50. Contact Jay at Jay Vogel on Facebook, and be sure to follow him across socials. Thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, let's welcome in our new pod sponsor, Cooper Groove Grips. When you play Cooper Groove drumsticks, you get increased sensory feedback from your hands, so your grip will naturally loosen, but you have complete control. With that taking place, you don't have fatigue and soreness, which can lead to long-term issues. Guys, as a drummer, Cooper Groove is my drumstick of choice. Sweaty hands aren't a problem. Grip is good. And don't forget to check out their amazing Cooper Groove bats coming out soon. Guys, follow at Cooper Groove Grips on Facebook. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsors, ISPW Weekly, where we dive deep into the world of ISPW, the crossroads of professional wrestling. Join Jumpin' Jay and Total with Tom every week as they interview the stars of the ring, uncover their stories, rivalries, and the electrifying action that defines ISPW. Be sure to check out ISPW Weekly on the ISPW Facebook page every week. Please welcome in our new pod and daily site sponsor, Twisted Shamrock Studios and Spa, located in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Twisted Shamrock is a retro spa experience for the average Joe and Jane. Meet the next evolution of recovery and relaxation. Right now, you can try their introductory offer, where you can try a core service to include massage, skincare, facial, stretch therapy, body slimming, toning, personal training, and spray tanning for 30 minutes for just $30. This is perfect for our wrestling pals as well. Book today. Call 484-574-8868 or visit www.twistedshamrockstudiospa.com. Guys, please welcome back our podcast sponsor, Wrestling Games, live signings, and more ahead of their inaugural signing September 1st in partnership with Revolution Wrestling Federation, featuring Buff Bagwell, Gary Wolf, Renee Michelle, and L.A. Smooth. Pricing includes shoutouts from all the wrestlers. Havoc Monsters Ball Deal, $125 gets you one 8x10 each by all four announced talent and any indie wrestler that shows up on the live. There'll be at least 2 to 4. $20 each, additional 8x10 individual photos only. First photo, $25 shipped for first. Each additional $20 includes a top loader for each photo. Any mail-ins are $30 for each item, $25 each additional. More items to be posted later. Feel free to message Emil Menard for any questions or purchases. Guys, I want to shout out John Blaine's Around the Ropes podcast for sponsoring the BCP. Around the Ropes podcast is your weekly live compressive coverage of all things pro wrestling, from indies to the main event of WrestleMania. Join John as he talks to some of the biggest names on the indies. Search Around the Ropes podcast on Facebook, Twitter, IG, and subscribe on YouTube by searching for Around the Ropes. Guys, please welcome in our new podcast sponsor, Inside Heat Sports and Collectibles, LLC, ahead of their Hamburg Sports and Hobby Show, featuring special guest Penn State and number 2 overall draft NFL pick, New York Jets player Blair Thomas, October 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Hamburg, New Jersey. Blair will be signing from 11 to 1, and on-site vendors will have sports cards, TCG, memorabilia, and more. Contact Pete at InsideHeatSports@gmail.com for more info. Thank you, Inside Heat, for sponsoring the BCP. Guys, please welcome in our returning pod sponsor, Warriors of Wrestling, ahead of their next event, October 5th in Staten Island, New York, featuring AEW star Khan, New Warriors champion Danny Moff, Women's champ Angel Metro, TJ Marconi, Darius Carter, Chris Steeler, Roger Mendez, Mike Ditello, The Boss Joe Bellini, and more. Get your tickets now and follow Warriors of Wrestling on YouTube. Guys, please welcome back our returning pod sponsor, Bree Combination Wrestling. Bree Combination Wrestling presents Nightmare at the Mecca, Sunday, October 20th at the Mecca, 106 Bergen Ave, Richfield Park, New Jersey, featuring BCW Women's Champion Vicious Vicky, BCW Heavyweight Champion Darius Carter, the Allfather, Anthony Gangone, Jay Bougie, and more. Get your tickets now and be sure to follow BCW on YouTube and Title Match Network.